WTHC. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Got Da.Hippie hanging here. And, of course, my handsome friend,
What's
DoktorHigh.
going on?
Happy Labor Day to you, sir.
Happy Labor Day to you, too.
It's probably not Labor Day for you guys up there in Canada, is it?
Yes, it is.
It is? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Then I didn't say anything silly.
It's a holiday for everybody.
I started out. I thought I had already. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I was just putting in the title for this episode as No Labor Day.
Yeah, I did absolutely no labor to make that chat GBT thing today. You're right. I didn't think you'd call me out right on the air, though.
Hey, fuck, I've been working my ass off all morning. But
oh, not me. I've been slacking. No Labor Day. I've been playing music and chilling out with my friends, getting high, hanging out in the back in the Muck Sticky Tribe. Go pick it up on the Discord, everybody. Please go pick it up. Come hang out with us in Muck Sticky.
I've been listening to.
Go ahead.
I've been listening to you for the last 6 hours.
Nice. I appreciate that. Thank you. Everybody should be listening to us for 6 hours or more. It's recommended. It's recommended.
I've been in creation mode this weekend.
You've been in what mode?
Creation.
Cremation.
I've been creating.
Oh, creation. You're freezing up over there again already.
I know. Irritating as hell. I have a lot of problems here with StreamYard getting in today.
I was seeing, you left like, I was like, oh, dude, hello, dude, where'd you go? I was like, all right, he'll be back, I'm sure.
My number one fan, Raggy, DoktorHigh's number one fan right there.
I think he was talking.
I think you're the only one that views my videos on YouTube, Raggy.
I view them everywhere. I post them on like 100 groups now. I get in trouble pretty much every day for oversharing. They say, but I try to explain to them that sharing is caring, and I'm just trying to share the knowledge. I'm just trying to share the knowledge with everybody. There's so many groups, and I know that everybody's a member of every group, so they're seeing it like 7 million times, and I apologize for that. But if you just come join our group, if you all just come join our group, then I wouldn't have to share it everywhere. Cookies, how are you?
I know. I was debating yesterday.
Still here. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, good afternoon. Go ahead.
I got the WTHC group yesterday morning as I was posting, and I thought, I wonder if I should post here this early or whether I should come back and do it at the end, because I know that you share my stuff like crazy, right? So I'm thinking, if you start sharing it and then I'm sharing it into the same groups right after, it's not going to be good for either of us.
And I don't even look. I don't even look if you've shared it already. I just go through I have a short list of like 30 groups that I share to every day. They all seem to not kick me out. Hi, Cookie. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much for being here.
Could be morning if you're on the West Coast.
Yeah, good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are. I'm Da.Hippie. That's DoktorHigh. We're here.
Yes.
DoktorHigh, how was your weekend? Holiday weekend, I guess. So, I mean, we're still here working, but I don't count this as work. I enjoy this so very much. Yeah. Hanging out and bullshitting with you. And
this is my break from work.
Yeah, this is your break, right? This is your break. Oh, Missouri. Nice to meet you. Welcome in.
How's it going, Missouri?
It's nice to meet you. All right. So, it's Monday, and I know you're going to yell at me. So I'm already prepared because I haven't done what I'm supposed to do. Christopher Williams in the house.
Hey, Chris, how are you?
Good to see
you.
I
can tell you what I did this weekend.
All right, go ahead. You tell me first, and I'll tell you what I didn't do.
I created yesterday a medical cannabis journal.
Hold on. There's Cookie. Cookie says, I'm the seed separator person.
Oh, that's got to be a heck of a job. I've not done that before.
I don't know. Yeah. Have you spoken to me already? Because I have a lot of people that reach out to me. I don't even remember half the people I talk to. I'm like, oh my God, I can't even keep up. I need to get a secretary for my secretary, who's me. So it'll be nice. So go ahead. You were saying.
Yeah. So yesterday I created.
They build a seed separator.
a medical cannabis journal. So when people are using cannabis as medicine, it's kind of important to pay attention to what you're doing, right? Because some things will work and some things won't work. But to rely on your memory to keep track of what's going on is a difficult thing. So what I did was I created a journal where you can track your strains, your products, the way you've taken them, the way that you feel, the effects, the side effects, your observations, your eating patterns for the day, your exercise, all those things on every page. So I created it for 30 days. But the thing is that once you download it, it's a print your own thing, right? So it's just all in the format. So you download it and you print it off. But once you do that, you have that journal for life because you can always print those pages.
Why can't you and I make it an app and become millionaires off of it?
Because it costs a lot of money.
All right. You lay out the money, I'll lay out the good looks.
Well, just that ACGC fam app that Jacob Pacino's done that we've talked about.
Yeah.
Cost him more than 50 grand so far.
Oh my goodness. Holy crap. Holy crap-a-toli.
Yeah.
Anyway, Cookie says that they build them. They build a seed separator. All right. And then
we'd be interested in having a conversation about that. I'd imagine you have a very defined market for equipment like that because not a lot of cultivators actually go to the seed stage. And then the ones that do are not usually industrial sized. So it would be a very interesting conversation. I'd like to know how you're getting that done, Cookies.
I would love to invite Cookie up. Maybe we could set that up for tomorrow or something. We have to work out the detail. Like I have to figure out how to get them on Facebook, I guess.
I have them on my Instagram.
On Instagram.
Are they commercial size? Are they more like home gardener size? The machines you're making.
And while he's answering that, Dr. High, can you please explain what the hell we're talking about?
A machine that's designed to separate the seed from the bud when you.
From the bud.
When you decide when you want to. When you want to take a crop to seed so you can, resow your genetic and start fresh in your phenotypes.
Yep. Okay. I was like, I'm like, what are we trying to separate? The males and the females? I'm like, how the hell are you going to do that with a machine?
No, not if you want to go to seed. But it could be good for the industrial hemp side of it.
I'm special, and I got a little bit of foam up in here that blocks some of the thinking.
No, that could probably be really good for the industrial hemp side of things. Because 24
by 3.
So that's home size. That's home for sure. Size? Is it within the budget for a lot of home cultivators who may want to use equipment like that, or is it very, very expensive? Like some of this stuff, as soon as it's designed for cannabis, the price goes up. All that essential oil extraction equipment and stuff like that. As soon as you throw the cannabis tag on it, the price goes up.
Absolutely.
So you never know. So Garrett says, you have to break up the bud yourself. And then, so it just mechanically separates seeds into, what do you have? A couple of different sizes that'll separate into so that you get the premium 300 ships. Not bad. So basically what you've set up is a screen where you can run the bud through and then the seeds will drop through all the little holes.
Now, let me ask you a question while we're talking about this. You get those little tiny seeds, you get those medium-sized seeds, and you get those big, old, plump, fat, jumbo ones. What's the difference?
Well, usually really small seeds are not viable. They're usually too small.
Hence why that banana pudding didn't work, because that seed was not a quality seed then.
Yeah, like you want
one I found in the container that I was all excited about, and I tried growing. It didn't work.
Yeah, usually want a good firm seed, a decent size, tiger striped, and really firm.
I mean, the bigger plumpier, the better. Or I've seen some big jumbos that are good eating.
Yeah, they may be good for eating.
Yeah, they were good. They were tasty. I told you. I
But
never believed that
you want
thing
the big
about
ones to
when
roast.
they told us that we were gonna be sterile. I was like, ah, fuck it. I don't want kids anyway. And then I got two.
Give me those seeds.
I ended up two anyway. Damn it. They lied.
So
Another lie.
Garrett was just saying, let's just say he gets a bag from the dude down the street. Is there any way online or an app or whatever that I could use to figure out what kind of butt I have?
No.
I've heard that there are some out there now that you can take a picture and it'll try and do an analysis of it and it'll spit out a few strains maybe. But I can't imagine that they'd be very accurate. There is some little handheld devices that you can connect to your phone that you can actually break a little bit of the butt off, put a sample into it. This thing will do an analysis of the sample and will give you a reading on your phone, which will give you the potential strains that it could be. It'll tell you a bit about what it finds THC level to be at and things like that, some of the characteristics. And the last time I saw something like that, it was a few years ago, maybe 4 or 5
Gotta be
years
pretty
ago.
expensive, no, $High?
It was about $1,000.
Yeah,
The first one I saw. But like I said, that was 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, right, Garrett. That's some future type shit.
The prices could have come down by now, and I'd imagine that the potential quality of that equipment and the accuracy of it has gone up. Right. So
yeah,
two
you
things
would think,
and
especially with the way they're trying to get law enforcement to try to be able to test everything, you know. So that's definitely on their list of things that they're going to want to put money into to invest into.
Yeah, you had this little glass piece, and you'd put about 0.2 of a gram in there and stick it inside the machine, and it would do whatever it did, and then it would send the information right to your phone. So I don't remember the name of it.
Crazy
but
shit.
Yeah, it was pretty popular when it came out with a lot of the growers that I worked with in the wholesale. That's where I first saw it.
Garrett, are you in an area where you have to go to that dude down the street? Is that your situation?
No, he's in a legal place. He's where Chris is.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, him and Chris are like besties, right? His guy, he's worried about Chris's shit that Chris is growing. That's what he's worried about. He's like, well, we're gonna test this shit.
Yeah, hey, I've seen it work in person. I've seen it work in person many, many times because we used to sell the equipment. So we would, we kept one that
waiting for Chris's shit to grow
to demonstrate, right, to potential clients, potential customers. We had one open and running so that we could demonstrate it in the store right when people came in to buy because they were going to drop $1,000. So, a lot of people wanted to see if it would actually work before they spent the money. Right. So the boss thought it was a good idea to have one always working, and people come into the store and just run a quick test on their stuff, or
I have to say, isn't it nice that Curly? It's so quiet. Other people get to talk in the chat.
She's not trying. Hey, Kyle, how are you?
Kyle, Curly Kel.
How's it going today?
Curly Kel went to the water park today.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, so she's not here. I'm just busting her chops. You know we love her. So what I was gonna say is I may or may not have a friend who, and I want to ask just for health reasons, I guess, and what you would think. I have a friend who may or may not have been, taking the clippings as their plant has gotten bigger. And they put them to the side and they let them kind of dry out, and they took some leaves and they let it dry out, and then they grinded it up and they rolled it up into a joint and then they smoked it. What do you think about that?
I don't think it was very good.
All right. And
I would be surprised because
is it healthy? I'm concerned for health reasons. You know what I mean?
What is it? Is it healthy to smoke dried leaf from the plant?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, leaf doesn't really have any trichrome unless it's a sugar leaf around the buds, which you wouldn't be taking as a trim from the plant because you're trying to grow those buds.
Stuff you want, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, you're smoking leaf material that has no benefit. You'd probably be better off to use it in a salad.
It might have taste. You could probably taste it. Yeah, it probably had a good flavor. Oh,
well, it just
was it you, Lori?
smelled like tea. Sure. If you want to know what your plant will smell like when it's done, all you really got to do is take your thumb and your forefinger and rub it a little bit just this way on the stem, and then smell your fingers.
Well, and
that's an indicator. Like Chris's plants would be big enough now to start giving some indication. Lori's plant would probably give some indication of the future potential aroma of the plant, even early. But yeah, I mean, might have tasted good, but I'm sure it didn't get you high because there was nothing there to get you high. I've seen that plant and it got no flower yet. So, you know.
We got to do a 420 song. And then we got to do commercials, and we'll be right back. You're hanging with Da.Hippie and DoktorHigh.
Hey, it's Bill
Calligraphy
Jr.,
with THC.
Billy Blaze, a.k.a. 420
Sorry,
Kid
DoktorHigh.
Holistic Cloud. Yeah. R.I.P. to my man, Derek Kroll. I want to give a shout-out to Calligraphy. My dude Means, little homie, Manuel Noriega, Big Just, Rossi, Jack the Apostle, The League.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Big bud, the little crumbs broke up in the bottom. Feel like autumn leaves falling. Only problem needs solving is seeing who I'm calling for some trees to indulge in. Need to holler at Billy, he keep his head in the cloud. Bel Air Kush by the bush, wow. Screaming loud, still smoking, having nice dreams floating through space. So when they ask me how high, I reply, half-baked. Sir, smoke a lot. Doctor said I need a bacchiotomy. Prescribe me huckleberry and lemon cherry gelato, G. I take it back to rolling in the Optimo, blowing smoke out my nose. And ashes on my clothes till I doze off. I'm so fried, no lie.
You're feeling good. That's good. Because I'm really surprised.
Well, she was proud. It's her plant, and she wanted to, sample it.
Yeah,
I can understand it. It's the first one in a long time that she's grown.
I don't remember back to my first one, but I wouldn't be shocked if I did the same thing. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be totally surprised if I did that myself, when I first started growing plants, because I was impatient and curious and, all those things. So it's not abnormal. Just
roll that shit, lick that shit, burn it, roll that shit, lick that shit, turn it, roll that shit, lick that shit, burn it, roll that shit, lick that shit, burn it, roll that shit, lick that shit, burn it, roll that shit, lick that shit, turn it, roll that shit, lick that shit, turn it. Good sunshine in my pocket on a Sunday stroll. Homie got the rap, give me the set. Let the good times roll. Therapy, earth, body, and soul. World, give me beat. Bel Air Kush, give me mental control. L lit back road. 5 hats told. The studio we roll. Bring relief. We the musical. I need to know. Healthier than pill pop. Mother, give me herbs to fill spot. My medication, kid to a kill shot. Many strands, lay hands in stressful situations. Out of all the girls in my life, maybe 10 a reservation. Here in 23, raising hands and liberation. A celebration, history free from information. Stand up, provide the right education. Show love, holistic cloud, politics throughout the nation. Making it stop debating Billy Blunt stats, flavor taste the weed. Weed is all I need. Smoke that weed.
It's like a family tradition. It's run down the family. I understand. Listen, I wasn't picking on you. I just wanted to know for my own knowledge. I have a brand new plant over here. If I run out, I want to know if I can grab some more for that and dry it out and smoke it.
No.
Roll that shit, lick that shit, burn it, roll that shit, lick that shit, burn it, roll that shit, lick that shit, burn it, roll that shit, lick that shit.
That's what I don't know.
Lick that shit, burn it, roll that shit, lick that shit, burn it, roll that shit, lick that shit, burn
it. Hairball.
Okay, men.
Oh, Han Solo. I've heard of it.
Maybe you didn't choose this.
We'll be right back after this commercial.
You're going to go out there and be an all-star caregiver.
Stay
up for you. So what are you going to do?
He disappeared.
You're going to go grocery shopping.
Oh, there he is.
Clean. Be there emotionally and physically. You got to dig deeper.
That was
Drive-in
freaky.
physical therapy, doctor's appointments.
What?
Forget about the
You
pharmacy.
leaned over far
you
enough
won't.
that you disappeared
Because
completely, and then all of a sudden you were
That's
back.
what caregivers do.
Oh, to the lure. Yep.
Okay. Don't ever
Ah!
give up.
Edwin.
This is
Scaring
time
me. It's too close to the
Everybody,
Halloween
your
season.
family, and yourself. That you're tougher than tough.
I created a book for you, hippie.
I heard. I saw the book. What was it called?
No. You haven't seen what I've been doing today.
Oh, I saw Teaching Puppets How to Grow Weed.
Public service announcement brought to you by
Written by DoktorHigh.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and
This
learn.
one's going to be useful to everybody.
But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl.
Yeah, well, Garrett, I'm clueless
she
as well,
can't
bro.
play like the
We're
other
gonna get
kids.
yelled at in a
She
few
doesn't
minutes
have
when
the
I bring my
energy
plant
because
up.
she's hungry.
Today's
School
the
lunch will
day.
be
It's
her
Monday,
only meal
right?
today.
It is Monday.
It breaks my heart that this
And
is
I
the
still
reality
haven't
in our
transplanted
country.
it, so
But
you're
it's
gonna beat
something
my
that Feeding
ass.
America is working to change.
That's why I say you're gonna
Each
be
year,
mad at
Feeding
me.
America Network
Did you at
of
least
food
poke
banks
some holes in the bottom of the cup?
pounds of good food that
No.
would have gone to waste. This
I
food is
say
then
if it's
provided
not
to
broke,
families
why
and
fix
children
it?
in
But
need.
now I might be
Being a
having
kid
some
should be about
trouble
using their
here. There might be a
imagination,
little
learning,
issue.
and having fun. These
Yeah,
children
there
shouldn't
might
have
be.
to miss out on simply being a
We're
kid
gonna discuss
because
it.
they're
It's
hungry.
not really a
To
bad
find out how
issue.
you
I
can
don't
help
think
end
it's
childhood
very
hunger in
strong.
your
It's
community,
very
visit
healthy looking,
feedingamerica.org.
but
Brought
it,
to you
it
by
needs to
Feeding
go.
America
Mrs. Hippie's picking
and
the
the
stuff
Ad
up today.
Council.
We just didn't get it because she went away over the weekend. WTHC. Good afternoon over here on the East Coast. Good morning to you guys over there on the West Coast. You're hanging with the Hippie and DoktorHigh. Woo. That was a lot. Welcome. DoktorHigh. We were talking to you. You had some conversations going on over there, and I couldn't.
Yeah, I just want to say hi to Corrine. Didn't get a chance to earlier.
Yeah.
Kyle says he finally got more weed thanks to his stepbrother. Took a trip to the weed shop. He was
Nice.
smoking Han Solo, which I have tried before, but it's been a while. I don't really remember.
Big as mine.
And Garrett's like, I don't mind vaping and edibles, but what I really rather just smoke a bowl. Yeah, it's normal. A lot of people do. And it's not as hard as cigarettes, really, because cigarettes you smoke 20, 25, 50 a day, at least with a bowl, you're only smoking a few a day. So,
I'm in trouble.
Right?
DoktorHigh is definitely going to chew me out because I got some yellow leaves now.
Yeah, it's probably because they're suffocating.
Well, she's getting it today, she says. But,
you
I'm
just got to poke the holes in the cup. That's all you have to do for now.
Well, I'm afraid the cup is fragile now. It's been working for a while here.
It's one of those red Solo cups, right? A plastic one?
No, it is a bathroom Dixie cup. Like when
fuck.
you go, did you just say, oh, fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. DoktorHigh, you heard it here first, guys. DoktorHigh said, oh, fuck. Oh, I'm in trouble. All right, here we go.
So,
I'm going to bring her out. You might not be able to see the yellowing because of the lighting in here. If I have to, I'll get up and put the light on. But she is looking.
Wow, it's grown quite a bit, eh?
Take off, you hoser.
Yeah, you got the stalk's getting decently thick on there.
Oh, look at her. She's fucking.
Yeah.
Oh, and
but you know what? Like
I smell pepper.
You're going to have, they always smell like that in the beginning. But those bottom leaves there is just nutrient deficiency.
Yeah, those two right here are the first two, right? They're yellow, and they're only 3 leaves. So I figured they're going to fall off anyway eventually.
Well, no, when you transplant, you'll cut them off.
Right, so they're going to go anyway. So I figured I'm transplanting hopefully today.
Like that plant is now probably big enough that it's utilized all the nutrients in the dirt that it's in. So it's starting to suffer, right? So as soon as you get it transplanted.
I talk to her every day.
Mm-hmm.
Right, baby? I love you.
Yeah, but talk doesn't feed.
Love does. Love feeds.
If love fed us, we'd both be slim.
No, we'd be bigger.
Maybe.
I'm so loved. I am so loved. I'm very blessed. So it's a tiny. It's tiny little.
Yeah.
It's ready to go. So, and Mrs. Hippie and I discussed it, and she has a bucket. It's probably, I would say, 4 gallons, and it's more of a square bucket, and it's not as deep as a 5-gallon bucket. Is that okay, or do I need
Yep.
depth?
No,
Do I
that'll
need
be
depth
fine.
for roots? I didn't
It
know.
doesn't matter. You just need space, right? Because
Oh, yeah,
roots can grow down or they can grow out.
Yeah, it's actually a
So
bigger square, and but it's not 5. I wouldn't think it's 5 gallons. I would think it's more
yeah.
like 4 gallons or so.
The only thing is, right, if you go directly from that cup into that size planter,
You told me to.
no, but that's okay.
Oh,
You
okay.
just have to be you just have to be more conscious of your watering, right?
Right.
Because if you go into a 1 gallon and then into the 5,
I feel like
it's
I
easier
do
to
a pretty good.
control.
I
But
think if I have anything down besides the fact that my water is filled with horrible chemicals and chlorine, besides that, I'm pretty good with the watering thing. I got that
yeah,
down, lifting it up, knowing the weight. I know, I don't want it to be too wet, but I don't want it to be ever dry. I want it to.
yeah,
I
like you
want it
might
to dry.
actually,
I want it to dry out and then go wet again. I know. I got that,
yeah.
and I'm learning from you. I'm not worried about that. I got you here.
No, you're going to be 4 or 5 days maybe between waters.
Yeah. Because
So
it's
you're
going to be
not
a
going to
bigger
have to water
pot.
daily.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you got a
and I'm
bigger
gonna
pot.
try to get better water now. I'm gonna try to give it something, not my chlorine-filled water. Maybe something. Is it distilled would be okay, or is that bad? Or
Well, distilled is nice because you can control what you put into it, right? So distilled is neutral water. It has nothing. It's not pH. It's not. It's just distilled water.
Your soil is
So
growing mushrooms.
when you add your nutrients to it, that will be what's
Bonus.
in the water. So it's a good thing. Distilled would be fine for your use.
Yeah, I think I
You're going
have
to go
access to
indoors.
distilled water. I actually have access to a natural spring right down the road. We could go and just fill up jugs.
Yeah, that might be preferable too because that's going to contain just elements, right?
Right,
Like
and less chlorine and shit that they
magnesium and
add to make it
iron and
taste better.
phosphorus.
Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll have
rock.
Mrs. Hippie go collect water. Mrs. Hippie, we need water.
You won't need a lot until the plant gets big.
Right, but I figure I got 2 or 3 of those 5-gallon juggy things, and as long as I keep them from getting green or whatever, I can fill up 2 or 3, bring them home, put them over here, and then when I need the water, I'll pour it into my watering thing and then water.
No, when I finished my plant last year, it was about 5 to 6 feet tall, and it was going through, I'm going to say, a gallon a day of water. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
you're not doing every day either. You're doing it 4 days later or 3 days later, right?
Well, no, not when the plant gets that big. They're utilizing a lot of water, so you're feeding every day.
Now, when I'm growing mine, it's not going to be 6, 8, 10 feet tall. It's going to be 3 feet tall. So
that's it. So you might end up with using, 1 liter a day, 1.5 liters a day when the time comes. But not until the plant's that big. So
all right, before you get ripping into me, let's get back to them. Pay attention to them over there in the talk.
I'm back myself at Chris saying he can definitely smell it walking into his room now. It's not very strong, but he can smell it. Yeah, you would start to. And as soon as you flip those things, 2 weeks later, you're going to start to really notice.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
He's going to a concert.
What? Again? This guy goes to
five 80s bands at the state fair. Bring your hairspray.
Oh,
Bring your hairspray and your spandex pants, Kyle. That's what you'll need to fit in there.
And get your put your what band did you just see recently? The Rolling Stones? No. Bryan Adams. Get your Bryan Adams shirt on.
He's going to see Rat, Great White, Vixen, Quiet Riot, and Slaughter. What a fucking night that would be. There's like Rat, Round and Round, one of my favorite songs. Great White's got plenty of songs. Quiet Riot's got some good stuff. Vixen, I'm not all that sure about.
When's he going to Slaughter? Who? Vixen? Vixen is awesome. Yeah. That's a female band.
Well, I would probably recognize some of the music. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. Like I can with Quiet Riot,
lead singer. Quiet Riot's one of my favorites from when I was a kid. Rat, Round and Round, and I love all of those. Or Corinne says something very important over there, guys. Look at that. And we're almost to 100. I think we're getting close to 100. We were at like 96.
Wow, it was way low.
We're getting up there. We only got 99,903 to go.
It's much easier to connect on YouTube. All they have to do is subscribe, and they will get you every day. Oh, that's very cool, Corey. I really don't know anything about YouTube. I can't even find myself half the time. If I didn't have an icon to click on that was mine, I wouldn't even know how to find me. It's pretty bad. Nice. You got to subscribe with me too, Garrett. I need the subscribers. I'm up to 3. So
number 2.
Now this is going to be cool. We're talking about growing. So Lori could use this. Garrett can use this. Chris can use this. You can use this. I just created today. I spent hours and hours. I started yesterday, but I'm pretty close to being done. I created a grow journal that not only is got all the information that you should be tracking when you grow, such as your temperatures, daytime, nighttime temperature, room humidity, water pH, all these kind of things. But it also has parameters and tips for each different phase, right? Like your propagation, whether you're starting from seeds or going to
now look what you did. Hold on. I got a complaint.
What?
You shouted out your YouTube. I couldn't think of the word. And now look, everybody's gone. They all went looking for you.
Shut up. There's no way. Look, see, Lori can't even find me.
Look, so Lori said she can't even find you because she left to go get you too, and she's back already. She's like, I can't find you. Everybody left.
That's funny.
Come back. You can look for him after the show.
So I'll just read the opening, and this will tell you a bit about what this is about, right? It says, embarking on the journey of cultivating cannabis is both art and science. Whether you're a seasoned cultivator or a budding enthusiast, every grow cycle represents its unique challenges and rewards. DoktorHigh.com, we understand the intricacies of this journey, and we've crafted this journal to be your trusted companion along the way. This guide is more than just a logbook. It's a culmination of collective wisdom designed to cater to both the meticulous notes of medical growers and the curious observation of novices. With sections dedicated to each phase of the cannabis life cycle, we've ensured that every detail, no matter how minute, finds its place amongst these pages. Why is a grow journal essential? Because in the world of cannabis cultivation, knowledge is power. The more you understand about your plants, their needs, and their responses, the better equipped you'll be to nurture them to their fullest potential. And as you fill these pages, you're not just recording data, you're charting out your personal growth journey as a cultivator. Whether you've chosen to print this journal at home or have our hard copy from Amazon, I haven't made that yet, but the printable at home version will be ready probably tomorrow. We've ensured that its design and layout are both functional and aesthetically pleasing. The color pop. We invite you to dive in, make notes, sketch, and perhaps even doodle as you navigate the rewarding path of cannabis cultivation. Remember, every great grower at some point was a beginner. Every mistake is a lesson. Every success, no matter how small, is a testament to your dedication. Here's to the growth. Here's to your growth in every sense of the word. So basically, it'll start like this. You have a glossary, so that'll explain all the terms related to cultivation, the things that you need to know. Then we'll move into the propagation phase with
for you, Lori, $49.95.
Yeah, it'll be up tomorrow, Lori. Oh, you did find me. There we go. Now you're late.
$49.95.
So we go into, if you're starting from seed or starting from clone, the temperatures you want to work with, the way you want to begin your propagation, what you're looking for, and then a track, right? Like the date your seeds were planted, the seed strain and source for your seeds, your germination method. Did you use a paper towel? Did you go straight into dirt? Did you use a peat
too far
pellet?
along to start, or am I okay still? I could still try.
No, because this is the beauty of this. This is designed for a full, complete cycle. So from start to finish, no matter where you are in the journey, you can hop right into this, right? So you'd hop into the vegetative phase.
Is that where I am?
Well, once you do your transplant, yeah, basically you're going to go from propagation to vegetative, right? That's basically your transition.
Woo, woo. All right. So they're starting to come back now, Dr. High. I see. We're back up to 6 because you
There
just
we
said
go.
they all went looking for you. You're gonna have 100 followers before us now. Damn it.
Never. I doubt that.
I'm
I
just
doubt
kidding.
that.
Lori is very intent to know what kind of, and can she eat them? Will she trip out? She's got mushrooms growing in her cereal.
Do not. I cannot answer that, Lori. I don't know anything about. You have mushrooms growing in the soil of your plant?
Yeah, that's more of the thing. I think it's just too moist. I think you're keeping it too wet, maybe.
Well, that would definitely, if you're creating an environment for mushroom growth, that could be an issue. But it's kind of bizarre that you have mushrooms in there, unless there was somehow spores that were in.
Yes, I remember the worm shit, but I cannot remember the frog shit.
When you put it in.
It's worm shit and frog something. Super
No,
frog.
no. You want happy frog. So happy frog is a good quality cultivation.
My wife said, Mrs. Hippie said, tell Dr. High to shove his happy frog up his ass. She said, no, she didn't say that. She said, we don't have happy frog. I don't know what happy frog is. I ain't never heard it. My son said the same thing.
You can
But
use
they said, we will get you the best quality mix of Searle, and we'll get you the rat shit or whatever, the worm shit.
Well, he works at a landscaping place, right?
Yes. They both
so
do.
Just whenever you're thinking about cannabis cultivation, if you don't want to talk to the people at the grocery store about cannabis,
I don't care.
Talk about tomatoes.
All right.
Because tomatoes and cannabis have very, very similar requirements.
Mrs. Hippie knows all about tomatoes.
If you can grow tomatoes successfully, you can grow cannabis successfully too.
I still got so many tomatoes coming. They're still coming out of my ass over here.
So basically, you can start with either Happy Frog or you can start with Pro Mix.
All right, and then some of that worm shit, right? And then mix
and then you can add worm
together.
castings. You can add a fish emulsion. You can add sheep manure. You can add certain things. Yeah, you can. You don't have to, but you can, right? And the more of these things,
shit for.
Well, because it's got nitrogen and it's got all these potassium and phosphorus and all, because they eat plants, right? They're vegetarians.
Right.
So their manure has all the nutrition from what they've eaten, except now they shit it out. So it starts to biodegrade and ferment, which creates more of it.
Sir, I got to ask you a question now. And I mean, I got a big bear that lives in my house, in my neighborhood here, right in my hood. And he comes strolling through every day, periodically, every other day. And he leaves a big dump in my circle. And it's got berries and nuts and fruit and all sorts of good stuff in there. Should I pick that up and put it in my weed?
Not. I wouldn't, because simply all the seeds and everything won't have been digested. So you'll put that in your plant, and then you'll end up having other stuff competing for.
Oh, well, he's a vegetarian for the most part, but I mean, he does come across a.
Yeah, but they'll have berry seeds. He'll have all kinds of seeds in his scat.
Yeah,
that will affect it, right? They when you buy these things from a garden center, most of the time they've been pasteurized with steam, right? So they put
moderator take care of that crazy Lori chick over there talking trash to me, please. I'm trying to learn here.
Yeah, so it's been properly treated and prepared so that you don't have to worry about these additional things. I mean, there are other things that you have to consider, like pH, which is the acidity and alkalinity that's in your soil, and especially when you're going indoors, because you're controlling the whole environment, right? So on an indoor grow, when you're feeding your plants, you want cannabis nutrients can only be they can only uptake through the root system in a narrow band. So cannabis will uptake nutrients between 5.5, a pH of 5.5, and a pH of 6.5 indoors. So your idea is you want to pH your food just above 6.5, 6.6, 6.7 when you feed. As the plant starts to dry out, right, as the moisture evaporates and the plant begins uptaking it, the pH begins to drop. So let's say you start at 6.7. Over a period of hours, it drops down through the range 6.6, 6.5, 6.4, 6.3, 6.2, 6.1, 6, 5.9, 5.8. And different nutrients can be pulled up by the plant at different levels. So you want that to go through the range from 6.5 to 5.5 so that the plant can absorb all the nutrients. If you're going outdoors, then you're more in the 6 to 7 range because it requires just a little bit different outside. But the problem is the pH meter is pretty expensive. So what you can do is you can buy the strips, the little pH strips that you can test your water with. And then in a garden store, you can buy something called either pH up or pH down, or you can buy a pH neutralizer, which will always bring your water to a specific level. And then as you add your nutrients, the pH again, of course, changes. So it's a bit of a science developing your nutrient needs if you're really serious about it, and you're paying attention to it once you're a pretty serious grower. But for the most part, the people that are spending time with us don't have to worry as much about that. But it's good to pay attention to it, because if your water's either really alkaline or really acidic, then this can be part of the reason that you have nutrient deficiency as your plant, because you're not running through the right range of pHs for the plant to actually be able to utilize the nutrients that you're putting into the soil.
Wow. Okay. Now they have pH water out there that's already coming in bottles. Is that something we should look into? Or like my friend,
Depends on what the pH range is, right?
ownyourwater.org. I mean, I know that machine is a little more.
If you can control your pH through that machine,
Own Your Water, you can control your pH from like 12 or 16 all the way down to 0 or something like that.
See, now that would be ideal, because you'd want to set your pH level at because you're going to grow the plant in your closet.
Yeah.
Set it at like 6.6, 6.7.
Yeah.
Then right from the system, do your nutrients.
Right.
And feed.
Right. I had a question. Oh, Lori wants to know. She's losing her mind over there.
I'm looking at the plant right now.
Yeah, let's get her taken care of. I don't want her to cry.
Are you feeding it, Lori? Are you giving it nutrients? Because you're getting some clawing on there. And I'm wondering if you're going too heavy on the nutrients or too heavy on the water. But when the leaf starts to claw this way, instead of being like a flat, happy leaf, it starts to, curl in on itself like a claw would, then that could be either too much feeding or too much water, and the plant is starving for oxygen. So let's try this, Lori. Don't water that plant until you pick up the pot and it feels like it's air. Let it go for a couple of days and let it start to dry out a little bit. And let's see if we can get those leaves to come back.
Should we pluck the mushrooms, or should we leave them there and let them continue to grow?
I would remove them.
Remove them.
You can remove them.
I would
don't think they'll do any harm, but
a 1/10 of an inch, like a very low layer of the topsoil, I would probably.
And that's another thing. If you let this plant dry out, the mushrooms will probably die. Right. So, the mushrooms could be the indication that it's just those roots are sitting in too much moisture and don't get a chance to absorb oxygen, right? Which could be a reason that the plant is looking like so clawed in.
She says she put new dirt.
Where did the dirt come from?
And it's been like this. The turkey mound.
Yeah, because my concern with this is that the damage is showing on the new growth, right? Like if you're showing damage on your big fan leaves, then, but when it's showing on that new sprout coming out, then the plant's really like feeling sad. So let's let this dry out, Lori, and have a look at it in 2 to 3 days.
It'll be a Monday thing.
Yeah.
Like me.
Well, I don't want to wait that long to see this plant again. I just want to see what the drying out process does so I can maybe eliminate one of the factors or rectify it right there. But if it doesn't come back with drying out, then we'll have to think about, where to go next. Tis all.
So pretty. So pretty. You're so pretty. I love you. Oh, sorry.
No problem.
I was making love to my plant. Okay, hubby put it out in the storm. Well, hubby.
Yeah, wind and that probably didn't cause that. This is definitely something to do with what's happening with your root system because it's right in the new growth is really being affected. So
I worked, Garrett. I worked. I was here all weekend working, playing music on the radio.
Not many husbands do it. Listen, we just nod and pretend we did.
It goes in
and
the
then
side and
go on about our sweet way anyway. So that's nothing unusual. Lori, been married 25 years coming up. So
yeah, me too. 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we do. We do what we want.
Won't be long.
All right. So, wait, I had more questions.
Hello, Alicia. I didn't see you there. How are you?
I got to do a commercial.
Oh, okay.
We're late, but you can say what you got to say.
Oh, I was just wondering if that answered Corinne's question or not about the dirt, what she should be using for her transplant.
All right, we'll be right back. He can talk to Corinne, and we'll be right back.
Are you in the Ellensville or Middletown, New York area? Revamp your space with Collins Paints Ltd. Ugly walls? Let Collins Paints Ltd. add a splash of color to your world. Collins Painting is a veteran-owned and operated business. They can transform your space to whatever your heart desires. Say goodbye to the boring beige and hello to possibilities of bright and vibrant colors. The Collins Painting team are a group of skilled professional painters who will turn your vision into reality. Call Collins Paint Ltd. today to get a fast and easy quote. Available Monday through Fridays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call them at 845-869-8176.
Badger Heart Puppetry. Badger Heart Puppetry. Badger Heart Puppetry. If you need some kick-ass puppets, contact Sorge at 1-636-234-1535. He has all your puppet needs. He can fix puppets, build puppets, custom-made puppets. He has puppets off the rack for cheap prices. Contact Sorge today at 1-636-234-1535 or on TikTok or Facebook at Badger Heart Puppetry. He also makes LARPing items too.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today, I'm going to help parents translate teen slang.
I'm on
now, when
Live
a teen says something
365
is
or
on
TuneIn.
fleek,
Yes.
it's exactly like saying, that's rad.
WTHC.
It simply means that
on
something
Live
is awesome
365
or
or
cool.
TuneIn. You can just
Another one is
download them.
totes.
They're both free.
Exactly like saying
or you can just go to my
totally,
website,
just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca.
www.wthradio.com.
Another word you might
I
hear
think there's a
is
dash
jealous.
in between WTHC.
Jelly is a shorter,
and
better
radio.
way to say jealous. As
And
in,
there's a button there that
Chloe,
says
I am
listen
like
in,
so
and you
jelly of
click
your
there, and I
unicorn
think it
phone
brings you
case.
right to Live 365.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care.
Yeah, I get on at
hear,
8 in the morning,
rad,
and I'm on
just the same.
until
Tell
Dr.
us what time you get off.
Adopt US
We
Kids.
don't care when you get on, just when you get off.
Announcement
I don't
brought
get
to you
off.
by the U.S. Department of
A
Health and
long
Human
time,
Services.
Mississippi and I, we
Adopt
don't
US
do that
Kids.
stuff anymore. We're old.
This is the story of a very special woman.
I don't know if Garrett wants
In
to
a
know
matter
when I
of
get off.
seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur.
And I'm on, then I
Her
come back
knowledge
on
was
4 to 8 on the
limitless
East
and
Coast.
still is.
Oh,
She could
here's a
also help
hijack
you
account, I think.
especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
WTHC, we are back, and we're hanging hard over here, right, Dr. High? We're hanging hard with a bunch of our friends.
Yep.
I knew
no Labor Day.
No Labor Day. Right. Take the day off. Relax. Get your barbecues going. Hang out with us for a little while. Smoke a little, and then get your day going, I guess. Yeah. Go to the party.
That's one thing I've kind of missed out on doing today so far.
Barbecuing.
I was so absorbed in my project. This is going to be a good one, though.
Barbecuing?
No.
What did you miss out on? Getting high?
Yeah.
Me too. I got high right before we came on, but now I'm not high again. I mean, I'm still.
Well, I tried to, but then when I came into StreamYard, I was having all kinds of problems getting it in. It kicked me out. It tried to take me to StreamYard support, blah, blah, blah. And I had to go in and out twice to figure it out. And I couldn't continue with my getting high because I was too busy trying to figure out what the fuck was going on.
Right. And then you have to be somewhat sober when you're trying to figure shit out. You're like, I can't.
Yes, to some extent.
Oh, God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyway, so you, my friend, are moving to the new beautiful area of Montreal.
Yep.
How's that going? Is it going well?
Movers booked, lease is signed.
How many years? 2, 4, 6, 8?
No, they're dirty. They're dirty. I told the real estate agent that I wanted to sign until July 2025, right? Or June 30th, 2025. And she says, well, I don't know if you want to sign for that long. Maybe you won't like it here or whatever. And I'm like, no, that's what I want, you know? And she says, well, okay, I'll make the lease. And when they sent me the lease, they did it from October 1st to September 30th, 2024. So I thought, well, why did she do it for 1 year? So I started taking a look through the information, and there's a section on the lease where they have to tell you how old the building is. And the building becomes 5 years old on October 1st, 2024. Now, according to rental laws in Quebec, a landlord can only increase the rent by 2.3% for a year, or based on inflation, right? The government sets the rent increase that landlords are allowed to increase your rent. And if they go beyond that, then you can contest that with the rental board. But when a building is less than 5 years old, they can raise the rent any amount they want, and you cannot contest it. Because they say that a new building takes 5 years for them to determine, you know, the real costs of running the building and this, you know what I mean? So that they have to make adjustments. So these dirty pricks, their 5 years ends on the 1st of October. So like I told my wife, be prepared to move in a year, because I got a feeling they didn't want to extend that rent, that lease, because they wanted the opportunity to get that last shot, right? To add,
and change your rent.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't contest it. My only choices are to accept it or move. So like I told her, I'm not sure how much I'm going to unpack in this place, because I smell it coming. You know what I mean?
A new place already.
Yeah, but you know what? It's going to be a lot better anyway, because at least for the next one, a year from now, we'll be in Montreal. I'll be able to go look at places and do it. I won't have to do it.
Maybe you'll find a nice little house or something a little better.
Or we'll find something that's more in tune with where my wife works.
Or the yard.
Yeah, because where it is now, like she's got a 30-minute commute, right? And a 30-minute commute in Montreal at the wrong time of day can be 2 hours.
Right.
So, you know, so we'll make adjustments. So this is just to get settled. Rainwater is generally pretty good, Corey.
With a great question. What about rainwater? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's rainwater's rainwater, right? It's, I guess, as clean as it can get, unless you live someplace like 3 Mile Island or Chernobyl. The rainwater might be a little bit different
Flint,
there.
Michigan.
But,
Flint,
Flint, Michigan, you're better off with the rainwater than the city water.
Yeah.
But really, what it comes down to is pH. That's really what's important
Now,
when
is
it comes
pH
to the water.
something like, is it a powder that we have to mix into our water to make it so that we have the right amount?
It's a liquid.
It's a liquid.
It's a liquid.
Into our
Yeah.
liquid, or we just shoot it in
Yeah.
right into the searle?
No, and it's so powerful. Just to give you an idea, when we used to prepare our feed for our clones, right? Because for a period of time at Freedom, I worked in the genetics department. So we cut all the clones, we rooted the clones, we transplanted the clones. We handled those plants right up until they went into the veg room. They were under our responsibility. So to feed all the clones that we had on a daily basis was about 25 gallons of water that we needed. So we prepared a batch feed that was 25 gallons at a time. And to pH that 25 gallons, sometimes we were using just 2 capfuls of pH up or pH down. And I mean, just a cap in 25 gallons, and it was enough to make the adjustments, right? Wow. So it's super, super powerful. Like, that's the kind of thing, if you're going at home using it, you want to use an eyedropper.
Now, is pH something that, like, we have to chlorophyll, something poisonous? Is it we have to wear a mask and a nose and cover our eyes or anything like that?
No.
We're safe with that?
Yeah. I mean, don't drink it.
It's like a swimming pool, right? I mean, we used to have to lower and raise our pH balance in the swimming pool back in the 70s and the 80s. I don't know.
Same idea, right? Same idea. Right. And the reason you're adjusting your pH in your pool is to slow down the growth of algae.
Right.
Right? Because you're trying to create an environment where algae can't flourish.
Eaters.
So that's why you're doing that, pH and chlorine. When you're pHing for feeding cannabis, you're doing it because you want to be in a very specific range so that the plant can utilize all the nutrients that you're feeding it, and it can uptake everything. So, Garrett, I use Midjourney and sometimes Leonardo if I want boobs.
Marcel, good to see you, buddy. I'm so glad you're home. I hope you're still home. I miss him for one day.
All right, Marcel. Hope you're staying cool there in Toronto. We're in a sweltering weather right here. It's so warm and humid that we're in a heat wave here in Southern Ontario.
Really? We're gonna get hot too. They say we're gonna have record highs this week coming, I think.
Yeah, they're talking here about with the Humidex up to about 40 degrees, which would be in the high 90s with humidity. 30 to 35 without, and then another 5 degrees worth of humidity on there. So it's gonna be a warm few days, but I got central air. I'm not worried about it.
Water your plants. Water your plants.
Yeah.
Except for you, Lori. Except for you. Don't water your plant.
No, I've not messed around with Dream Studio. I don't know it. See, I'm not very computer savvy. So when I find something that is friendly enough for me to be able to use it, I tend to stick with what I've learned. I don't mess around too much. I've tried Da.Hippie because it's part of OpenAI, and I do use ChatGPT quite frequently. So I've looked at Da.Hippie for sure. I didn't find it anywhere near as good as Midjourney, especially for what I was doing, because I've created thousands of cannabis-specific images through Midjourney, and that's really all I'm interested in doing. So, yeah, Stable Diffusion I've never tried. But the thing is you can't just take these images from Midjourney and use them. You then have to manipulate the images to make them of the proper pixel size, right? Because Midjourney is preparing in either 512 by 512 or 1024 by 1024 pixels. And those pictures can only be like 8 inches, 6 inches, 4 inches with that pixel size. And if you stretch them beyond that, then the picture's just destroyed. It's no good. So then you have to take your AI art and you have to upscale it using other software that you have to pay for, like Photoshop or something like that. There are a couple free ones out there, but you can only do a couple of pictures, so it's no good. And you can only use Midjourney for commercial purposes if you have a subscription. You have to pay. So
I have no freaking clue what you two are talking about, but you guys enjoy yourselves. I'm just
talking about how to work with AI art. Tis all. So
no, anyway, you have any stories? I didn't look up any stories, but I could if you needed me to.
Well, we'll get to that for sure. I just want to finish off because I was talking about the journal and what's in that, what you're going to be able to utilize it for, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to pop back. So when you start the propagation, you're either going to start from seed or from clone. Actually, I sent you a picture in your messenger that you should have right now of how people ship clones in the mail, the packaging and how it's done, right? So clones viable in the mail. So then you'll go into your vegetative stage, which breaks it down like about how many weeks. You'll be about 4 weeks in veg before you flip the flower. But it depends on your grow environment. If you're going to grow in the closet and you're going to keep your plant small, then by the time you're hitting 12 inches, you can flip, which might take, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. Or, because you're usually about a week to 2 weeks from seed to when you can really go into your vegetative state, right? That'll tolerate the light. It's big enough and it's developed big enough root mass. And then you go another 2 to 4 weeks in veg. So when you're in veg, the things you'll want to keep track of, or you want to start with balancing your gross. You want to go outside, Loki? Hold on. We're going to let the dog out.
I think so.
That was a cry
Dwayne! Hi, Dwayne. How are you, bud? I see. Thank you so much for posting some quality stuff on our page. I appreciate that. I like your shit. I appreciate that. I'm Da.Hippie, if you haven't met me. And that dude over there, when he comes back, there he is. That's DoktorHigh.
Right. So it explains a little bit at the beginning of the chapter, right? How long your plant should be and the kind of things that you're looking for. And it'll talk about how your pH should be 5.5 to 6.5 in hydroponics, or 6 to 7 if you're growing in soil. So that's a difference, right? You're going to grow in a pot. So your pH will be a little bit different than if you're using rock wool or coco coir or clay pellets, or there's multiple ways that you can grow hydroponically, medium wise. Temperatures you want to keep 70 to 85. So it gives you that kind of information, right? And then you'll initially start off with your first page inside your veg cycle, where you'll talk about your date of the transplant, the type of medium you're growing in, whether it's soil or soil less, your pot size, your intended daily light duration, light type, wattage, and the type of nutrients that you're using. And then you'll have a daily checklist that runs for each week, right? Because each week you're going to change your feeding. So with cannabis, you tend to keep the same feeding regimen for 1 week cycles. So you reevaluate at the end of the first week and you up your nutrients, right? Then you run another week, then you up your nutrients. And you run another week, then you up your nutrients. So because the plant's getting bigger, it requires more. And as it's getting stronger, you can push it harder, right? So you adjust. So this is designed to run on a week-by-week schedule, Sunday to Saturday. And each day you'll check your temperatures off, your daytime, your nighttime, your humidity, how much you've fed the plant, the pH of your water, EC or TDS. EC is electrical conductivity, and TDS is total dissolved solids. And this is a measurement. Once you put your nutrients in the water, most of the people, like, you won't do this. Lori wouldn't do this. Chris probably wouldn't do this, because the meter itself starts at about $300. But you can put this probe inside your nutrient solution, and it gives you your EC, your electrical conductivity, because it measures how quickly an electrical charge moves through the water, and that tells you the electrical conductivity, which gives you the idea of your nutrient balance inside total dissolved solids, inside your feeding. So EC and CD and TDS are the same. So this is the sort of thing you would track, especially if you're doing a 20 plant grow, then you will invest in something like this. But for a couple of plants, you wouldn't bother. Then you can measure your plant height, how far it is from the light. You're going to check on a daily basis for pests, spider mites, thrips, aphids, those kind of things. You just do a quick check of your plants. You can just check that off. Then you can have your observations, you know, whether your plants look healthy, happy, or whether they don't look happy. And then your notes for the day. So in your veg cycle, that'll run a 4-week chart so that you can continue to watch that.
Do you need how do I say this? Do you need like a different page for every plant, or just one for every different type of plant? Or
you would let's say if you want to track different strains.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, if I have 2 different strains going, am I gonna keep it for 2 different strains?
You can
need 2 pages and working on 2 pages then, or is it all on one? Can I?
You could if you wanted to. You could if you wanted to, but you wouldn't be able to track multiple strains in the same book, right?
Right.
Yeah, in the same column. So, but the thing is that once you have the download, basically what this will do is I'll upload this entire book into my Google Drive.
Right.
And then there'll be a link that anybody with the link will be able to download this from there. And then once you have the link to the Google Drive, you can download it today, you can download it tomorrow, you can download it a week from now. But there would be no reason to do it, because once you've downloaded it, then you can simply print out the cycle whenever you want. So you run through one harvest cycle or one complete cycle from seed to harvest. When that's complete, you just simply go and print out the whole thing again.
Right.
For your next plant, or you can print out 2 of them, one for your Northern Lights and one for your Gorilla Glue number 4, or whatever it is, right? So once you own it, you own it.
All right,
you know?
I gotta do some commercials because it's that time already, and we got a 420 song coming up. So stick around. We'll be right back. You're hanging with Da.Hippie and Dr.
111.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute? When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can.
Good morning, Douglas. How are you? Welcome in. Cookie, if you're still here, I would love to get in touch with you and reach out.
At AARP,
get you to come
we can
on
help
the show
with
and talk about
information
your
and useful
seed
tips on how you
separator.
can maintain a healthy life. Care for your own physical and mental well-being.
Interesting.
The challenges of caring for a loved one. Because
it's a commercial.
Yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks,
I can get high.
Thank you. You're there
What's
for
up,
them.
Doug?
You're here
Feel
for
free to get high
Find free
anytime
care
you want,
guides to
sir.
support you and your
That's
loved
what
ones
this
at
is all
I'm
about.
gonna puff.
Caregiving. That's
I'm gonna puff on a little Maui Wowie.
Brought to you by
I have
AARP.
either dabs or flour, so I don't really get to puff very much because I only got the one hand.
All right, class.
You didn't get any cards this time at the dispensary?
I got one,
Big oak tree.
but
It was at least 100 years old.
I've been
My mom
kinda
said it
just
must have set a
hanging on.
record
I
or
just
something.
haven't opened it yet.
And then we went down by a stream and
Feel
pricked
like,
up on
I'm
this
trying to take my time. If I have 3 different
saw all
devices
these little
open, then I'll
minnows
be
swimming
smoking
around
3
way
different
below us.
devices.
And then I rescued my little brother from an evil slug king who was guarding him at the bush fortress.
Cheers,
and my sister and I
Christopher.
brought him back to our super twin
Oh.
fort for safety. And then we all laid out and told stories until it got dark. And the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Where were you, Jill?
Thanks, Chris.
we
Cheers to
went
you
to
too.
the forest. It's not that far away. Anyone want to come this weekend?
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week and find the fun, adventurous you. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Are you in the Ellensville or Middletown, New York area? Revamp your space with Collins Paints Ltd. Ugly walls? Like
What a
Collins
flavor.
Paints. Add a splash of color to your world. That's a known and operating business. They can transform your space to whatever you're looking for. Boring beige and hello to possibilities of bright and vibrant colors. The Collins Painting Team are a group of skilled professional painters who will turn your vision into reality. Call Collins Paint Ltd. today to get a fast and easy quote. Available Monday through Fridays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call them at 845-869-8176.
Hey, Mrs. Hippie, why don't we take a ride to Boston, PA today?
Oh, she's throwing herself in my glass.
Badass crystals.
Oh, but I thought you were going to on Facebook, not TikTok.
That's only on Mondays, Tuesdays, Saturdays, Sundays. Today, I want to go there and pick up all my great finds.
That sounds like a great road trip. That's Badass Crystals on TikTok and Facebook. But you can also find them at the top of the mountain in Dauphin, PA. They are badass.
Yeah, baby, Smoke Sticky, and you're blazing with WTHP Radio on Live 365 and tune in.
Look what I created this morning.
Could you?
This is a complete girl journal.
Wow,
But no,
you've got your boss.
so it's somebody.
You're still
I'm
live,
smoking
Yeah,
blunt. In the blunt, yeah, we gon' cut it up. Turn it in the trunk, we moving packs. My job is to scan. Fuck the house, we moving cash so we could all double up. Purple smelling good and OG in the time. Holding up your back and feel back. Hold ass, smell on leave. Walk down the town with the white, they yelling trick or treat. Gotta hear my family, my brothers, I'm not from the street. I'm just smart.
Listen, you got some work to do.
All these plays, they gon' make a game that I'm a
Because
play.
you got to think this journal. I've done my best to do it all right and format it properly. But we need to figure out how to get it on the air.
Most these rappers speaking
It's not finished yet, but it will be there.
as a CGO.
You know, we'll look
Gloves for the robot professionals. Gotta wear some gloves.
What the hell are you guys
You sound
talking
thrilled,
about?
like,
Across if you want to get technical.
You okay, buddy?
Oh, yeah, I'm just coughing on the distillate.
Blue Dream.
Maui Wowie.
Put it in the
Oh,
bummer,
Maui
we gon'
Wow.
cut it up. Turkeys in the trunk, we moving packs. My job is just a front. Fuck the house, we moving cautious so we could all
But
double
it does have some Blue Dream flavor, and it's got the blueberry taste.
I don't know why I had that in my head. That we spoke about that already today.
I don't know.
Fuck the house, we moving cautious so we could all double up. Purple smelling good and OG in the tires holding up.
Is it Labor Day for Raggy too today? Are they off in the United Kingdom?
I don't know. It's kind of weird. He's home, but I don't know.
On the microphone, I get in the zone, get in my way, and you'll beat your best. She's sitting home alone. I'm a stoner rock and roller like a bowler, knocking down the pins. I'm a roller, dozen doobies, who's for two? I'll be playing, get the winner, roast you like a chicken dinner, toast you like a glass of champagne, eat you up like propane. Don't you know I'm your main? Warm you up in your brain. My inferno is eternal, I'm igniting your flame. A volcano that's erupting, spewing lava on the mic. Good times and good rhymes. JJ called me down on mic. Light it up, light it up. Grab my guitar, baby, pluck a tune. Hotter than the pavement down south in the month of June. Give you everything that you desire. Crochet to prove your love.
I don't know. It's the first week of September, Garrett. Been Labor Day all my life, the first week of September. And the official end of summer. Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving. No, not Thanksgiving, sorry. Valentine's Day, I guess. I don't know. That's not really a holiday, but. What, Corey?
On a fat jump, I be blazing through 'em, looking for the chewing like a skinny skin. Treat you to a nice meal, maybe steak and shrimp. Pickle, pickle, pepper, Peter Piper with the limp. Hanging up and down the street, keep your trunk rattling, battling the evil forces, beat 'em like a fish and meet 'em clever when I'm on the level, pebble in the air, just trimming up the big buzz like a I can travel to the cosmos almost anytime I wish, munching on some mushies, apple sauce in the dish. Kiss a fat doobie, suck a fat movie. Sticky mucker blowing up, exploding like a bluey. Chewy like Chewbacca. I'll be like a flock of seagulls, getting red, baby, shitting on your head. Said I ain't stopping until I drop fucking dead, which means I'm gonna be here forever. How do you do? We're shaking in your ground. We're shaking in your ground. We're shaking.
Yeah, there are different holidays, but there are a few that are the same. We both have Thanksgiving, but they're a month apart.
How do you do?
We're usually October, and you guys are in November.
Shaking in your ground.
Easter.
Will you get high? I'll do too. I'ma take a toe and pass it off to you. You can pop it like a choo-choo. Need a
Yeah, for sure we have Halloween.
They don't even have microwaves and cell phones.
No.
That's that song.
If you come to
No, that's
Canada,
that
you gotta
song.
bring your skis.
That song, "O Canada," they say. Of course, we have microwaves and cell phones. It's just going.
We have the most expensive cell phones in the world. Yeah, our Mounties are like your FBI. So the Royal Canadian or RCMP, Royal Canadian Mounted Police, who are the Mounties,
So
they're
that's
the equivalent.
FBI ride around on horses.
FBI. No, but they're of the equivalent status, right? They're a national police force, just like the FBI is. And then you have your provincial police, which are like state police, and then you have your municipal police, which are like the ones in your town. But we don't really have sheriffs and stuff here, though.
I want the cash for the show up front. He kicked around like a punt. For the fun, I'm always on the hunt. Come along and get down. Pass it all around. Aren't you glad you found the funky fresh looking mug sound? We can go downtown, party like a prince. I'm making a fun, let the good times commence. Funny just bring or find me. Soaking up the sunshine, toking up the fun time. Looking up the fun time, looking up a fun round to go along with dinner. Crossing that finish line, looking like a winner, baby. How do you do? We're shaking in your ground. We're shaking in your ground. We're shaking in your ground. How do you do? We're shaking in your ground. We're shaking in your ground. We're shaking in your ground. What up, yo? It's Muck Sticky, and I highly recommend you check out the Hippie and DoktorHigh show on Facebook and YouTube. Monday through Friday from 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern, baby.
WTHC. Thank you, Muck. I appreciate that. Nice shout out. I appreciate him. He yells out about stuff. He likes us, Dr. High and Hippie Show. Anyway, welcome in, everybody. You're hanging with the Hippie and Dr. High. We are High.
Stone, finally.
Finally.
Oh,
High.
Yeah.
Received the brain. No, the brain has received the High. Anyway,
I'm feeling the warmth between my ears.
Yeah, it's like little snowmen running up. No, that's the peppermint patty. Anyway, let's go. What are we talking about? Come on, let's talk weed.
Garrett says, is it easier living in Canada? It is if you smoke weed.
It's legal there because you guys have no rules. It's legal.
Outside of that, we're just as screwed up as you are in the States, but we do have one advantage. There are not so many guns here, so we don't have the same problem with gun violence as you do in the U.S., and we got it way easier when it comes to getting your hands on good buds. So that's the real difference. But other than that, we're all screwed. We're all screwed. We're all doomed. Period.
Grinder.
And Corrine says that's what she did wrong last year, was she didn't feed it. You know, the thing is that cannabis is extremely hardy, that plant. So if you plant it directly in the dirt outside of your house, not in a pot, then that plant won't really suffer if you don't feed it, because its roots will continue to spread and there's plenty of available nutrient in the soil. But as soon as you go into a pot, that plant can at some point utilize all of the available nutrients, leaving it nothing left to feed on because it only has access to the soil inside that container.
Yeah.
So when you're growing directly in your ground outside, feeding it is beneficial, but is not as critical as it is when you're in a pot, when you've put that plant in an independent environment where once it utilizes everything available to it, there's none left. That's when you got to.
That's why DoktorHigh always recommends going out and taking your neighbor's tires off of their car, bringing them home and putting them in your yard and filling them with soil all the way up to the top, and then planting your plant in there, because then it'll grow down and then it'll grow into the earth as well. And then it'll get
and it keeps tires out of the landfill, and they make perfect planters. You stack
paint them
3
and
on
make
top
them
of each
look
other.
pretty.
Yeah, you stack up 3 of them, and you've got a great environment for growing cannabis.
Oh my goodness! How many in one tire? 3 tires high. One per tire.
Yeah.
All right. One plant, but you can paint them all tie-dye in pretty colors and make them look beautiful, and then that's where you grow.
Do whatever you want with them.
Right.
And I guarantee you, paint them or don't paint them, as soon as that plant is 4 and 5 feet tall in there and in flower, it's going to be as pretty as you could ever imagine anyway.
With black tires that are gross and dirty with bald spots, it don't matter. They're going to look
You
beautiful.
won't be seeing the tires. You'll be looking right at what's coming out of them.
See, so that's the difference. Last year, I mean, not me, somebody I know a couple years ago, maybe last year, grew 15 plants, but they were all in a pot, a 5-gallon bucket, a 5-gallon bucket.
In one?
No, sir, no. And 15, well, it started out with 25 buckets full, ended up with 15 buckets full that were viable. Right. But then, they really didn't go very far after, that guy that I know didn't get very much at all when it came out at the end. But it was a successful grow because at least there was stuff. I was like, yay,
right.
Stuff.
See, if you're like we are here, and I suspect that you are, you can safely put your plants outside for the summer around the 3rd week of May. Once you hit the 3rd week of May, you can feel pretty confident you won't have any more night frost and that sort of thing. So if you start your plants in your closet in the middle of March, by the time you're ready to go outside, you're already going to have a really good, strong 2-foot plant to go into the ground. And by the time you harvest, you can be 9-10 feet and be pulling half a pound from a plant like that. So
that's what we're going to do next year.
Right?
Yeah, that's what we're doing next year. Like, I'm already trying to find some seeds that I need, that I want, the right strains, the right.
Forget the seeds.
Okay.
When the time comes, get clones.
All right, clones.
Forget the seeds. There's too much. There's too much.
I hate this.
What
shit.
If?
Way too much work already. I'm already losing my mind. Clone sounds good to me. I'm already halfway done. How many more weeks until I'm smoking this bitch? That's what I want to know, DoktorHigh.
Well, you're gonna put it in your closet.
Yeah.
And
don't sound so stressed.
Is that an autoflower or it's a photo, right?
Yeah.
You have to control the light.
I don't know.
Get it transplanted. Get it in your closet. Let it go for 2 weeks in the closet, and then change your lights to 12 and 12.
2 weeks in the dark?
No, 2 weeks in the closet in the veg. Let it veg for 2 more weeks. Once you get in the closet and under your light, give it 2 full weeks like that.
In the new pot.
Yeah, in the new pot. Just to get it strong, give it all those extra hours of light, that's 6 extra hours a day, just to help that root development and get everything strengthened and on track.
Yes,
then you want to switch.
We're here for you. We're going to help you get those 10 feet plants in your backyard next year. How many are you allowed to grow there, Christopher?
8.
8?
In 2 different phases. 1 in flower, 1 in veg.
So 4 technically then, right?
That's what Garrett said the other day. And
or 16.
They live in the same town, so.
Yeah, or is it 16? 8 in flower.
No, it's 8.
So 4 in flower and 4 in veg.
Yeah. But that's ideal, right? Because you can rotate them. It's okay.
4 pounds every 75 days or so, right?
Oh, if you're able to grow that outside,
Oh my God.
Those 4 plants, yeah, they can get you some pretty serious weight.
Yeah.
But indoors, you're looking at more like in the tent that Chris has.
I'm not talking about me. Next year, I'll be outdoors as soon as I can be. That's my goal. So, you know, and having them, I want 10-foot plants. I want to
Yeah,
be
I'm
out
going to say
ladder
from
trying
Chris's
to get
tent,
my shit.
he'll probably be able, if he trains those plants and is able to maximize his canopy, right? Like get those plants to fill from corner to corner on there as a flat level field.
Oh,
Then there's no reason that your room, Chris, shouldn't be able to pull at least a half a pound and maybe more. Maybe a little more than that, maybe up to 3/4. But you have to really like see a green that thing. That's really got to be done. You need to do the plant training and really that's absolute max. If you were to just let those plants go that the way they are now, then you might find yourself with 6 ounces, 8 ounces if you grow them up to the full. Still pretty good though for 2 plants.
Yeah, but see now the thing about that, Dr. High, that leads me to becoming a drug dealer, I think.
Why?
Well, because I feel like if you get something and you have it for a very long time, then you get tired of it and you don't get as high off of it. Is that true or not true, Dr. High?
Well, I think you do build up a tolerance. That's why I always switch my strains. Like I usually don't ever smoke more than
so
a
if
quarter ounce.
I have 10 pounds of one strain, and I don't have 10 pounds, but you know, I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean. If I got 2 pounds or a pound, let's say I grew a pound this year, and not me because I'm not allowed to grow anything, but if I grew a pound, you know, what am I supposed to do? It's going to go bad. I got to be able to figure out how to keep it safe and moisture free. And
no, you get one of those food savers from Walmart, the vacuum sealers from Walmart.
Yeah.
And you package it in there, and you pull vacuum on it, and then you throw it in the freezer, and just leave it be, and then you can pull it out. You can vacuum seal it in 1 ounce lots. And what I would do, and what I have done in the past, that's the way I do it, is I seal it down into the size that I'll utilize. Right? All these packages. And then I'll have all the one strain in one bag, one strain in another bag, one strain in another bag. And then I just rotate
an ounce, break it up into little ounces. This way, an ounce.
Yeah, I would break it up into half ounces.
You're a little bit of a sissy.
And you just rotate through it. And the same with you, right? If you had 10 ounces of something,
a sissy. I'm sorry.
Then every second week you go by. You know, you smoke your weed, then you go buy a different kind of ounce, and you go back to your weed, then you go buy another.
I mean, there's always an answer, right? I agree. I'm just asking for our friends and people out there who are not talking but maybe paying attention. You know, now you just explained how to keep them. You know, like DJ Nephew Nick is here now, and that could be. I love.
Hey, Chrissy, how are you? Nick, how's everything going? Nice to see you.
Are you Southern or am I
That's
Southern?
when you trade with your buddy. Yeah, that's always an option too. If you've got other friends that are growing, you know, you can always do that. And a lot of people are the same way. They don't want to smoke the same thing for an extended period of time, so they'd much rather, you know, rather trade a little something off. And plus, if you're a grower, most of the time you're on the more of the connoisseur side of cannabis. You appreciate the subtleties and the differences, and you're very curious about the plant. So it's actually more interesting to know other growers and be able to share information and see how they do things and how you do things, and then look at their results and your results. And then you use the DoktorHigh garden planner to keep track of everything so that you'll know from harvest to harvest how it goes.
Right. Now, nice plug there. I like that. You still haven't sent me anything for your fucking commercial, by the way, you dumbass. But anyway, we'll get on about that later. So, damn it, I just had something. Damn it, now Nick made me all.
And now all you can think about is that garden planner. I know. See how that works? This is the magic of neuro-linguistic programming.
my goodness. I watched something yesterday. It was probably on TikTok. I don't remember, but the guy had his arm on one side of a board and then they put a fake arm here and they were like, and the guy really thought it was his hand. It was really crazy. Anyway.
Your brain does funny stuff. How you doing, Andrew?
Yeah, it was
the
like
brain can do some funny stuff.
he was screaming because the guy came and slammed his hand with a hammer. And
yeah. That's like people who are amputees and stuff out there. They swear that that missing limb itches or that they still feel it. The brain is weird,
I've heard that.
It's
Yeah.
a very weird thing.
I think they need to work on their endocannabinoid system.
I reposted something this morning that somebody who's quite active on Facebook as a cannabis advocate. Sadly for him, he lives in the Philippines. And the Philippines is very anti-drug there. They're really against cannabis, I mean, there's a core of individuals there that use it. It's ancient medicine, and it's been growing in the Philippines forever too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
but
thought that was
as far as
those places I used to get.
Yeah, as far as open cannabis use is concerned, medical or recreational, they're a little uptight about it over there. So Kelly's a real big advocate and really likes to help educate people and put the word out. So he posted an article about the endocannabinoid system yesterday. That is one of the best articles I have read on this topic. Really, really interesting. So I reposted it. So anybody who's interested in learning more about the ECS or really understanding it, this is a great article. A really good article. Yeah.
And if he posted it, I probably shared it a million times, so it might be out there.
It could be anywhere, yeah.
But
yeah, they actually called it.
Yeah, that's what they called it. All right.
Something about balance. Something. I can't remember the words that they used, but the ECS could also be known as keeping the body in balance, just with more complicated terminology. But it's really true how that works. But this article is very, very easy to understand, not overly scientific, but scientific enough, right? It was really good. Cool. Yeah, that's a good one, Chris. If you didn't read that. You'll find it pretty interesting, especially you because you've dealt with a lot of medical things, right? So, and you know how cannabis has been important to you in your life. So that article may help you understand why you're finding certain benefits from its use, right? Because physiologically, we're designed for this. What's going on, Tim? Happy Labor Day to you.
Your friend DJ Nephew Nick hasn't stopped talking about you. You must be so wonderful. You were on the radio this morning, I heard. Wow. Amazing. That's part of your job. That's what you do. You work on the radio. That was weird how you were on the radio. Anyway, DoktorHigh.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I was reaching for something that didn't come. Sorry. I know. You just have to show your face once and you're screwed for life. He's a big fan now, Tim, the fun guy. So he's all yours. I'll pass him on to you.
What the hell is Clapper?
I'll pass him on to you now. He's all yours. DJ Nephew Nick, thank you for your time with me. You've been a big fan. I appreciate it, but I know that you love Tim now, and I am sad to see you go. But you can go hang out with Tim all the time now. I'll miss you. I will miss you. I'm all right. I'll be okay.
That's it.
Anyway, DJ Nephew Nick is great. Go follow him. If you go to Clapper is the porn side of TikTok, I would call it. You go there, you come out with herpes. But it's okay. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Never even heard of it.
Herpes?
When you talked about it, but
it's a disease.
Yeah. I imagine. I don't know, man. TikTok's not liking me these days.
There's no
The
more
last
girls
2
over there
videos
on
I
the
posted,
operation. Yeah.
they got a total of 9 views. Even
Yeah,
the
if
worst
you-
ones I post get 800-900.
Yeah.
This one, 9 views. They really have not liked me.
They they found out you were related to me. You're hanging out with the bad guy over here. I'm always in trouble. You gotta go. Do you have an Android or do you have an Android or an iPhone?
I have both.
Oh, fancy.
No, I just don't
take your Android.
I don't bank in the same phone that I go on social media with.
Right.
That's why I have two phones.
If you have an Android, and this is for anybody out there, there's a new one called Stoner Talk. STONERTOK, Stoner Talk. And it's just starting, but it's getting bigger and bigger every day. More and more people are signing on. It is gonna be subscription driven. So you're gonna
It's gonna be like ACGC fam.
Yeah, it's gonna be $420 for 1 year or 21 something for 5 years, and then it's gonna change after a certain amount of time, and it's gonna go up a little bit in price. But that's how there no ads, none of that bullshit. It's I go over there and I stream every day. It's pretty lonely right now, but I play my music, and I figure if somebody's over there streaming, sooner or later people are gonna start popping in. So check it out if you have an Android. It's going to be on iPhone, but the gentleman who is creating it only has an Android. So he was like, "Well, let me make mine work first, and then I will continue on with the Apple part." And he said by the fall, Apple's come down in the fall.
See that? Tim just called you a rube for going on Stoner Talk. You said you rube.
Why you call me a rube? That's not nice. A rube. How rude.
Misspelling. But we're gonna tease people for that.
Stoner Talk is happy early birthday to me. Oh my god. Oh, Andrew, don't start over there with what is an Android.
That's the future, Andrew. Androids. That's what's coming down the pipe. Pretty soon you won't have a person when you go to McDonald's. It'll be an Android serving your food.
Right.
Androids will be doing everything.
Then maybe, just maybe, they'll get my fucking order right.
Yep.
I think I got Mrs. High laughing over there.
Yep.
I doubt it. I doubt it, but they'll still fuck it up, I'm sure.
Even people don't realize how much they're incorporating AI into everything. There's now, because I've been applying for some jobs, right, in Montreal, some cannabis jobs.
Right.
I've had to give permission a couple times now to have my resume analyzed by AI, because that's the way the companies are filtering all the applications to narrow it down, decide who they want to contact using artificial intelligence. And I had to actually, click that I agreed to allow them to do that. Right. So, you know what that means, right? You got to start keyword stuffing your resumes now for the jobs you want.
I always do anyway. I'm like stoner, pothead, weed dude.
Hey, you talked to me about Pace Radio?
Puppeteer. Yeah, I mentioned that. Yeah, they're a big Canadian radio station thing.
So I'm just starting
about weed too. Yeah.
Well, I'm just starting to connect with Al Graham.
Al and I have been friends for a while now.
Yeah, I'm just starting to connect with him, and he lives 20 minutes away from me.
Oh,
he lives close.
That means you guys are going to get high together.
Well, you know what that means is that I should maybe be utilizing proximity to get us on that network also.
Yeah, and I'm already reaching out to Howard. Howard and I are in communication.
There you go.
I don't know you. Don't talk to me. Leave me alone. But breaking the ice. I'm breaking the ice.
But that would be interesting to get in on Al's network.
Well, Al's already offered it to me in Puppet, formerly known as Hobbies, I guess I'll call it.
There's the other one.
for the lack of better words. But
right.
yeah, Al and I and my wife have already spoke, and I don't. That other guy might already be on that station for all I know. I don't know and don't care. But
I haven't seen any posts about it.
yeah, but he talked to us about doing it there too a while ago, and I was interested, but then we kind of had our issues, and I no longer have him. I have something.
Well, he told me the other day he was from Campbellford, and I Google mapped it, and he was like 23 minutes from here. So I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Well, you know, it's Pace, right? Pace.
Yep. Yep.
.com.
Yeah, and then they have something called CBGA TV also.
Yeah, and that's a Canadian television. Yeah, we were going to be on that too.
Yeah, I watched a couple of things that they did because they did the local cannabis cup, the Indigenous Cannabis Cup on Tyendinaga. They filmed there for 2 days, and I was curious about what they were doing.
I watched part of that as well. Yeah, I watched part of it.
Yeah, I was curious about what they were doing. So, yeah, I checked it out, and I mean, I think we could fit into their agenda very, very well.
Yeah, tell him I'm still interested. I got Mississippi has his number. They were talking personally for a while, but like I said, it kind of fell apart when the puppet formerly known as my co-host was here.
Well, it's a different show now.
Way better.
Well, I'm not going to say better or worse, just different.
No,
you know
no,
what I mean?
I'm going to say way better. I have this handsome fella right here. Huh? Look at
Well, I think, like, yeah, I think we've got something kind of interesting here, and it has the potential to be really interesting, right? If we can figure out how to get like a talk show, like a call-in talk show type thing, where
absolutely,
it doesn't have to be the phone for now, but even like through this method. But if we can start getting people through and need solutions, and you know what I mean, we can really do something very cool.
I am 100% on board. Let's do it. Let's keep it going. All we need is better Wi-Fi for you.
Oh, we're going to keep it going. We need to figure out, I'll have better Wi-Fi in a month.
Frozen solid. Absolutely, Garrett. We're going to work on that. I figure
I'm so on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm so on the new Wi-Fi game that my new router for the new place has been delivered to my daughters already, and it's already sitting there waiting for us to get there so I can get it put in.
Mental Health Monday show. Yeah.
We're all mental here.
Yeah, definitely. Yo, Facebook user. I don't know who you are, but yo, welcome. Weekly
Just
segment.
Wet Pipe Wednesday. Ugh. A wet pipe.
That's when
yeah, that's what I was saying. See, Garrett just said him and Chris can come on sometime. And that's cool. Like, we can bring people up for sure and get into conversations. And
I feel like we're gonna start doing that. Like, once you get relocated, and we're gonna focus. I'm gonna put more focus into the show.
Yeah. The next month's gonna be a little bit.
Right. It's going to be a little spotty and rough right now with your Wi-Fi, with you moving and all that. Yeah. So I figure, this last 2 months or so has been us getting pregame, getting ready, and then we're going to go full force. We're going to go full force from there, and it's nothing going to stop us.
Nothing's going to stop us. But, like I was saying, I said to Chris the other day, we were chatting back and forth in the comments on a post, and Chris has had quite the experience in his life, and
I know
he really swears by cannabis. He says that cannabis has really, helped him overcome so many things. And I think that Chris's experience could be really good information for anybody who watched this show live or a recording down the road, right? To understand the potential.
Yeah. And
you know what I mean?
And your intelligence, and I swear your knowledge, I don't even want to call it intelligence, your knowledge is just amazing, and that's what makes the show, is that you can help answer these questions for everybody. And then we have the possibilities of Dr. Harris coming on to help clarify and make sure that our answers are all correct. I mean,
Well, speaking of Dr. Harris, I intend to take that new medical patient journal, and I'm going to send it to him so that he can give it to every one of his patients. Whenever they come through, he can just give them, he can email them a copy of that journal.
Is there a way that we could do our own type of like research maybe? Like, is there a way like where we could do like we get their feedback back and we can like keep our own journal of everybody's feedback of it? You know what I mean? Like something like that.
Analyze people's grows?
Well, their grows, but maybe not the grow one as much as the other one that you were talking about.
Well, the medical one, that would be the coaching, right? That would be where we take their information and then help them work through it. You know what I mean? Real thing that would be
I don't feel as included in that whole coaching thing. You know, it's kind of you. I kind of feel like you're gonna.
For you to be included,
I need to be there to make sure they understand when we're coaching them that they get it through their skulls. You're frozen.
Join us here and ask their questions live too, right?
Right.
Absolutely. But I mean, as far as creating care plans and working through that, I just have enough years of experience and I can really help them there with that part of it. And then this platform could be the situation where somebody's got a quick question they want to know, something needs to be clarified. They can, you know what I mean, stuff like that. But you know, as far as the coaching is concerned, that's kind of a complex situation.
I got it. And you don't want the hippie there. I got it.
It ain't got nothing to do with that.
There's no fucking HIPAA in weed, bro. I can know their problems, man. I need to know what's wrong with all of our friends.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's a beautiful thing is I don't even really need to know what's wrong with you. I just need to know what symptoms do you experience, right? Is it pain? Is it nausea? Is it sleeplessness? Is it headaches? Is it muscle ache? Is it inflammation? And because I can't tackle a specific disease. I can't tackle Tourette's. I can't tackle Parkinson's. I can't tackle cancer. I can't do anything.
As much as you want to pretend, you're really not a doctor.
I'm not even close to it. But,
you got more years in prison than you do in college.
Yeah. which is its own kind of weird college, but especially
you learn the school of hard knocks. Tim wants to know how long can you grow outdoors under a hoop greenhouse? Average.
You can probably get more benefit in the spring than you do in the fall. Because the determination in the fall is going to be done by the lights and the photo period of that plant. But what you can use the greenhouse for is in the early stage, in your vegetative stage, earlier in the season. So you might get 3 or 4 weeks extra outside in a greenhouse than you would just going straight in, right? So you can probably grab, 18 inches of additional growth at the early phase of your planting so that you really can accelerate it throughout the rest of the cycle. But as far as late season is concerned, that doesn't have to, you have to harvest the plant when it's ready to be harvested, right? So that means when the plant starts to give the indication, you're seeing the swell on the buds, you're looking at your trichromes under magnification, you're starting to see clear trichromes start to turn milky white. This is when you determine a harvest. It's not harvested by a specific day or anything like that. You have to harvest the plant when the trichrome indicates the plant is ready for harvest or it is at its correct point of ripeness. So a little bit of cold is good. Some people even think one frost is good because it really freaks the plant out. So it goes into overdrive.
That's what they say. It makes the colors come out. That frost.
Yeah, it'll definitely purple it for sure. Really cold nights will purple your plant. Absolutely. But when it comes to time for harvest, it's really about checking your plant. And then you have other factors to consider. If you're in the greenhouse, not such a problem. But if you're just outdoor growing and you're having a cold and wet fall, that's real danger of powdery mildew, real danger of bud rot. There are dangers that come.
The radio out there for WTHC radio to be playing in there at all times. Highly recommended.
Yeah. You're at nature's mercy to some extent, right? When you're outdoors like that. But in the greenhouse, you don't have to worry as much about a wet plant, especially if you've cleaned your plants really well and you have a lot of airflow through them.
I find Tim to be one of those guys that's very meticulous about his stuff.
Yeah, and I'm sure that he would be good about pruning that plant, because as you're getting to the phase that you would be at the end of the season, you really want no leaf on that plant at all, except the leaf that's coming out from the bud, the sugar leaf. Because that's enough to do the energy. You want it to swell right then, right? You don't
I hate to interrupt you in your knowledge, but I have to do a commercial or we're going to be in trouble.
All right. Get it in.
Love you. We'll be right back. You're listening to Hippie and Dr. High on WTHC Radio on Live 365, and tune in and over here on Facebook and YouTube.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences together through conversation.
What's your schedule like today, Dr.
The
High?
story is so.
Oh, I'll go a few more minutes, but not too long, because I want to get that project done.
Sit down, talk, and listen to one another. They can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/one small step, you can listen to amazing, life-changing.
I don't want to drag it into day 3.
Tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me
Shouldn't
hope.
have been working all weekend. Should have been
Take a
relaxed.
step toward bringing our country and
Yeah,
your
though.
community together by having.
If I have an idea, I gotta.
Listen,
No
DJ
Labels
Nephew Nick, I am
One Small
not
Step.
mad. I'm okay.
Love Has
I'm
No
all right.
Labels
I'll
and the Ad
be all
Council.
right. You go and hang
People
out
do
with
some pretty cool
Tim.
things in their
You'll be
40s and
all right.
50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college.
I have
Tim's
enough
just a
on my
little-
hands
Learn
with
new
Crazy
instruments.
Lori and Curly Kel and all
Start
the rest of them.
skateboarding.
Tim
Okay,
can
maybe
handle
that
you.
one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital
One is
retirement
enough
coach from
with you.
AARP. You'll get
how
personalized
I've been doing it
recommendations
for the
based on
last
your
2
input that are
years.
easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Tim, if you need any pointers, hit
So
me up.
wherever
Let
you
me
are
know.
in your
I can help
retirement
you out.
savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Hey, Mississippi, why don't we take a ride to Dauphin, PA today?
Dauphin? What's in Dauphin?
Bella's Badass Crystals.
Oh, but I thought you hang out with them on Facebook and on TikTok.
That's only on Mondays, Tuesdays, Saturdays, Sundays. Today, I want to go there and pick up all my great finds.
That sounds like a great road trip. That's Bella's Badass Crystals on TikTok and Facebook, but you can also find them on the top of the mountain in Dauphin, PA.
They are
badass.
Say bye-bye to bottled water. Holistic Health Water has certified medical-grade water ionizers that make 7 types of water, including healthy alkaline. There's a 5-micron
Dr.
filter
High.
that lasts up to a year, and each
Dr.
machine
High.
lasts 25 to 30 years. Simply attach
Don't
to your
do this
faucet
to
or
me.
install under your sink. Even get a mineral
Guess
spa
his
unit
time
in
was
your
up,
shower.
he said.
Go to
I'll stick with you another
ownyourwater.org
minute
to
or
get a
two.
free ebook. Plus, pay for any machine in full and get an extra filter free. Change your water and change your life. Ownyourwater.org.
WTHC. Good afternoon, everybody. It is 1:57 over here on the East Coast. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. You guys have been amazing. The questions are getting better and better. The conversation. You know what I was learning? I was watching YouTube this week a lot, and during my time, they say you got to smash that like button and pound and share it out. And I really appreciate if you guys could share it out. Tell your friends, tell your loved ones, only the ones that smoke pot. Tell the other ones too, because fuck it, we got to fight the stigma, right? So, suck it up. We smoke pot and you don't. You better start liking it. Anyway, Dr. High, hello, Dr. High. He's gone. He looks to be gone. We got, what, 2 minutes, and I can officially end it? Poof, and he was gone, right? Warning, warning, warning. You got a warning? You got a warning, because you got DJ Nephew Nick on your ass now. Listen, everybody, please keep tuning in. Thank you so very much for being here and hanging out with us. We will be back tomorrow. Absolutely. 12 o'clock on the East Coast. That's 11, 10, and 9 a.m. for you folks over there on the West Coast. We changed it so you guys could get up earlier and be able to catch the show. I want to thank all of our sponsors, of course, Own Your Own Water and Vern and Badger Heart and Collins Painting, and I'm forgetting one. Bella's Badass Crystals, and look who showed up. Look who shows up to work. Leave me here high and dry.
Oh man, it pisses me off.
I was just about to hang up on you. Holistic Health Water. Yes, thank you. OwnYourWater.net. I was thanking our sponsors, trying to kill time while you were out getting high.
Yeah, I wish that's what I was doing. Just being frustrated at my.
Where did my puppet come from? I tell you the truth, I don't know where this fucker came from. I bought it, obviously. I think I found it online. I was looking like Facebook Messenger. No, Facebook. What is that called? Those groups where they sell shit. That Facebook place where they sell
Marketplace or something.
Yeah, Marketplace. There you go. And I was just cruising through, and he was actually Jesus. I was Jesus at one point. And then, I got him, and I had another puppet. His name is Tie Dye T. That's hence the other guy. You see Tie Dye T. That was him. That's actually the big guy. That was him. And then it was Hippie J and Tie Dye T. But Tie Dye T broke his sunglasses, and he hasn't really ever came back, because then Hippie J came out, and like everybody just fell in love with Hippie J. Now there's a lot of people who don't like Hippie J. I should probably retire and hide. And look at this guy. He's frozen again. Oh my goodness. What am I going to do with this guy? Anyway, the Hippie J is me, and the other puppet over there on the other side of the room is Tie Dye T. And we're a team, Tie Dye T and Hippie J. But Tie Dye T is pretty much retired. And I have a friend who has the exact same puppet as this in his house. So if Hippie J ever were to be damaged in any way, I could probably reach out to my friend and pay a significant price, because he's going to hold out on me. And he'll be like, "No, you need this bad, and it's $25,000 if you want it." And I'll be like, "Come on, man. I should probably buy it now before I become famous."
There you go.
Anyway, yeah, so there's another one out there I found. I'm sorry, say that again.
I say you'll have one with stretch marks and one without.
Right. I actually, Badger Heart Puppetry, my friend Badger Heart, he is making me a new puppet, and he might actually become the face of the puppet once that's completed, but we'll see. We'll see how it comes out, how it works, if I'm happy with it, if it fits my arm and hand, But right now we're working a deal. He's making me a quality one of the hardest one he's ever made is what he's going for. It's gonna have working eyes.
Bloodshot.
Maybe. It's gonna.
How's your appendage coming from? Curly, who's making you the appendage? Somebody's making an appendage, eh?
Oh, Vern, you have me hooked. Yes. I haven't heard about it, but I seen the beginnings of it earlier in the month.
That's going to be funny.
Yes.
People are going to be like, "What the fuck?"
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So my puppeting career started many, many moons ago. I was playing, and I would play with my sister, and I was always her puppeteer, because she and I were, and she's special. So I would always entertain her with my puppeting. And then one day I was sick, sitting on the couch, and I flipped on TikTok, and I saw other people doing puppeting, and I became a puppet. Then I got hooked up with a fundraiser, and I met a guy who owned a radio show, and he said, I said, "Can I be your co-host?" Because we did a fundraiser for 3 days, and it was really cool. And then I met him, and him and I hit it off, and I became his co-host. And then he quit, and I took over. Somebody else bought a station, said, "Here, come work here," and then they ripped me off. And then, it's a long story, but now everything's in my name. I don't have to worry about it, and we go on. We roll it, and they will come.
Do you ever dream of being a real boy?
No, I'm tired of being a real boy. I like playing. It's a lot easier. I lay down over here a little while, and I don't have to do nothing. I can just lay over there and be lazy. I don't get as high as the big guy over here. He gets high.
Nobody yells at you.
Right. Mrs. Hippie doesn't yell at me at all. He yells at my partner over here, the big guy.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway, I want to again thank everybody for being here. You guys are amazing. We love you. If you have any questions, if you ever
Taking
have any
time out of your holiday to spend with us is.
I told somebody to reach out to you and get your you know who's going to try to get your private message or somehow to get in touch with you? Steve, our friend Steve. Good day, mate.
Oh, okay.
I told him that, you would probably work with him privately because, it's 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning or 1 o'clock in the morning there now. And
I'll work with anybody who spends time with us privately, publicly, whatever they prefer. I'm okay with.
Yeah. So I told him, I said, you could probably get his private message or something like that. And you guys said you have, because he said he watches us the next day, tomorrow morning.
Right.
Well, it is tomorrow. But when he wakes up, he watches. So I said, we can answer any of your questions on the show, and then you can watch it later and get your answers. But, message Dr. High a message and then ask your questions if you have any questions, because he loves the show. He loves it. He's learned a lot, he said, and he likes it a lot. I'm not trying to put any words in your mouth, old man. Anyway.
Hooked on phonics.
Let me do something here before I go any further. Just to get myself set up. All right. You still there? Or are you gone? You're gone. Oh, yeah, you're frozen. All right, everybody. I love you guys. Have a great day. Peace, love, hippie hugs to you all. Dr. High says the same. He loves you guys too. He's stuck with something in his mouth over here. You look like a weirdo. Oh, there you are. You're better. You're back.
Back just in time to say peace. Thanks for spending time with us today. Appreciate it.
Peace.
We will.